You are listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series that syndicates for the A-List Online. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith. The interview subject I have coming up for you is Nate Young, the drummer in US outfit Anberlin. The reason for the conversation is to promote the band's May 2019 Australian tour. I'll read out the dates. On the 25th, they're playing in Brisbane. The 26th in Sydney. On the 29th, a show at Forum in Melbourne. On the 30th, Adelaide, you get a show. And finally, Fremantle on the 31st of May. Let's have a listen to what Nate has to say. Here we go. For our chat. How you going?
Good. How you doing, man?
Mate, I'm not too bad. I just saw Phil Anselmo last night, actually. He's in town. So,
Oh, nice.
I was able to catch him, King Parrot, and two bands who I hadn't heard of before called Palm and Potion. But it was a good night, man. It was, I guess, the reason the gig was on, see, he's playing tonight in Brisbane again, but last night he played because, I don't know whether you heard, but he's the shows that he had on in New Zealand after the tragedy in Christchurch were cancelled.
Oh, wow. So he went over there instead?
Yeah, so he put on a show last night for us here in Brisbane, and you know, I'm not suggesting for a moment it's an upside, but there was not that many people there, which is
No, for sure.
which is pretty rare at a gig, to be honest, man. But it meant that you had
Yeah,
breathing
it
space, and you could walk around and interact with other fans without sort of and get a beer when you wanted one. So
Yeah. It's nice. That'd be shocking.
yeah,
It's awesome, though.
Yeah, no, it's good, mate. It's good. So
Good show, though?
yeah, it was really good. I had a chat to him prior to him coming down, and he mentioned to me straight up that there was going to be a lot of Pantera cuts in the set, and he did not disappoint. Let me tell you, there's a lot of yeah, awesome. Like a lot of the hits too, like Walk, Mouth for War.
That's insane.
Yeah, and I didn't get to see Pantera, so it's a real thrill to be able to see the man himself with a really good band.
Cool. That's cool that he's doing that. Who's playing for him, drum-wise and stuff?
I have no idea. I haven't. I mean,
Come on, dude.
Yeah, they're not like known musicians, if you like, but they're very capable musicians. I will say that because the guitarist that he's got actually looks a little bit like Dime, has the hair and everything, but can shred.
Really?
Yeah, so it's
That's sick.
yeah, it was fantastic from the perspective that if you closed your eyes at certain points, of course, you know, nobody can replace Dime, of course, but at certain points it was very similar to Pantera.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's cool he played old songs, too.
Well, I think, and what did he mention to me? It's a thing of tribute these days, but look, it's what the fans want. You know, it's we've got the Cavalera brothers coming down here often enough, and they put on tributes to albums in their career, like Roots, and they were just here recently with oh god, what are the albums before Chaos AD? I can't remember. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the two albums before Chaos AD, so the one that was in like 1990 and the one in 1991 or two, yeah, the Max Cavalera and Igor come down here often enough and do that stuff, mate. And they're just giving the fans what they want, man.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I feel like that's the move these days, you know? It's like people just want to get pumped and hear the old stuff, which is fine, you know? So I think it's cool when people kind of oblige to those fans that have been there from the beginning, so.
Well, you guys are doing something pretty similar. And you're coming down here for these 5 dates, mate. So obviously you've reacted to fan need for these shows.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I think that's the move is like, you know, people, I don't know, for me at least, it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, people want to hear that stuff, and instead of like trying to fight it, I mean, we're not trying to like further our career, you know, so my whole thing is like, let's just have fun and play those songs, you know, give people what they want to hear. And you know, I think it's fun though. I never really understood when artists like kind of denied that so hard, you know, didn't want to play the hits that kind of got them to where they were at. And I never really understood that, you know, and I could understand when we were consistently touring constantly before we were over, like, you know, you wanted to play the new ones, you wanted to play the weirder ones that you were into. But at this point, with not having played the show over there in 5 years, I mean, I'd imagine people just want to hear the songs that they miss, you know what I mean? So that's kind of cool for sure.
Hey, look, there might be plenty of copy out there about this, but I couldn't find it specifically. But why did you guys break up?
So there is, honestly, it hit the spot where we just kind of realized that it just felt like it was time. I mean, for us, like, it'd been so long, and obviously there was some just normal kind of just sign of the time stuff. You know what I mean? Like, just being honest, like, tours weren't as big as they were. Like, things were fine, but it wasn't like, we kind of felt like we hit that spot where it was like, it'd be tough to kind of, with Feel Good Drag being our biggest song on that record, that did a lot for us, and that kind of was the peak. And so, not that it was downhill since then, but it was hard to kind of follow that. And we did well, and our fans are incredible, so we had such a good long career, which we're so thankful for. But we just hit that spot where we kind of felt like it was time to be done. I mean, there was nothing brutal, there's no crazy thing that happened. We just, we were tired though. I mean, we were really beat, and there was a lot of personal stuff going on as well within, families and other stuff happening that it just felt like it was time to be around for that. So that was kind of the gist of it. I kind of, not wish, because I'd say this in a very thankful way, but, there's not really some big story. There's not really some crazy thing. Like, I think people kind of want to know, like, of course we had disagreements. There are some people that didn't want to end, and then there were some people that were really adamant about ending, and it felt like just kind of the right time across the board for us. So, that's why we kind of made that call.
I really like what you said a moment ago, actually, when you mentioned that you're not trying to further the band's career, because I understand completely what you're saying there. It's not that you don't care. You obviously care deeply, otherwise you wouldn't be touring and travelling with the band. But
Absolutely.
you're in the, you remind me of, you're in a place, if you like, where it's a thing of tribute for the fans, like I was saying about Phil, and you're just reacting to fan need for it. But isn't it interesting? It's at these moments in time where you can just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Absolutely. And that's what these shows are. I mean, honestly, us doing this is, that final year that we did before we broke up, it was tiring, man. I mean, it was hard. It was like, it was coming off of 12 years of touring. So that final year, we crammed it all in, and thinking that would be the final, that we'd never play another show together. So we did it all. We played as many shows as we humanly possibly could. And so it was a lot, but it was for the fans. Like, it was for like a proper goodbye. It was to say, like, thank you for everything. But we were beat, and I hardly even remember that tour. I mean, it was like a blur, because it was just the emotions and the constant, we were tired, and, it's just so much. So now these shows are like, they are for the fans, but they're kind of for us, because we're like, it'll be fun to just go and play shows and not have it be coming off of, 180 shows prior. It's coming off of not playing any shows in here. So it's fun. It's the excitement of getting on stage together. None of us are in control of each other's, not that we were in control of it, but all of our decisions in the band affected our lives at that point. You know what I mean? If someone was like, listen, I can't tour during this time because, for whatever reason, fill in the blanks, like, I have to be here for like a wedding or whatever it is. And so a lot of that would affect all of our lives. It was like, well, we need to tour because we need the money, and, all that kind of would play into it. But now none of us directly affect each other's lives. So it's tons of fun to get on stage together and just go, let's just play these shows and have such a good time, So that's what this is about, for sure.
What do you reckon? Is there a new album on the horizon?
So that's the thing, like, at this point, like, we're not trying to get back together, and we're not trying to further our career. Our career is what Anberlin was, and I kind of view that Anberlin's career was over in 2014 at the end when we ended. And so these shows aren't to, like, try and restart. It's genuinely what it is. It's to have fun. It's to play in front of a crowd that loved us. I mean, we love Australia. I mean, it was our favorite tour. And so that's how this kind of came about. It was like, let's just do this. And, I've learned since that final thing is to never, since then, I don't think I've ever said hard no on anything, just because life has shown that whenever you do that, it kind of will give you other plans. So we're not really saying, not even to be secretive, but just because we've learned in life that when you say no, we'll never do something. Because I said no, I don't think I'll ever play another show with Anberlin, and here we are. So I've learned that not to kind of to speak definite within my life. But Right now, man, that's not the goal or the plan. I mean, it is just to have fun and play these shows and to not. And if I'm being honest, I don't know if anyone wants to hear New Anberlin. I think that not that our fans wouldn't be stoked, but in my opinion, it's like it was an era and a time that Anberlin lived, and I think that it's hard for me to even picture what the new, we've all gone such different ways musically and within our life that I think it'd be almost tough and feel a little forced if we all got back together and tried to, crank out another record, in my opinion at least. But again, there's five dudes total, so everyone kind of has different opinions.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of merit in what you're saying, because I'm pretty sure that Elton John and Billy Joel have said something similar. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've read that they've said something similar. Look, we're not producing new music anymore because the fans have already got what they want, and they seem to be fairly happy with it, and we're happy with the work that we've got out there, so we're just going to keep playing.
Yeah. Man, that's exactly how I feel. I mean, I want to go play those songs. Like, that's why we're doing this. It's like, I think we made some great music, and I'm proud of it. So I don't really have a lot of regrets with albums, and I think, you run the risk of putting out stuff that, is not maybe what it should be. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough. Like, we're not all traveling together. We're not all living together. So trying to, during those times when we make those records, we were, you know what I mean? We're always together. So we were bouncing off ideas and going, what if we did this and this album? I feel like with all of us being separate, all living in different cities, all living and having different lives and careers, trying to get back together and kind of do that, I just imagine it would be tough. And I think our fans just want to keep jamming. I mean, we have a ton of albums, so it's like at this point, I'm like, just listen to those, you know what I mean? So,
Hey, how'd you keep your drumming chops up when the band split in 2014? Did you do a lot of studio work and work for other bands?
I did. I worked on a couple records. I did. I was super lucky enough to be able to do 2 Yellow Card records. They're good friends of ours.
Yeah.
So we were able, so I did that, and then I was also able to, I played here and there with some few people, and I was able to kind of keep all that up. So I don't have a place that I could practice, but I was able to kind of, keep it up here and there. We're working on records and stuff. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, you might have already alluded to it through previous responses, mate, but what's your favourite aspect of your career? When you look back, when the band broke and was so popular, I remember when the band broke, mate, you were you took rock and roll by storm, really, initially, but what's your favourite aspect of your career?
Oh, thanks, man. I think, honestly, the longevity of the career that we had, I'm really proud of. I think there was a lot of bands that did 1 or 2 albums and kind of disappeared. So that's one thing I always think about, the fact that we were able to do it for 12 years, I'm really, really proud of. And then maybe this seems a little bit funny because of these shows, but I was proud of the way we did end Anberlin as a whole. Like, I was really proud at the way that we were able to kind of come together and do a proper goodbye and kind of put to rest that side of Anberlin, the Anberlin that was career driven, and that was what was kind of, in charge of our career. So I feel like us being able to put our heads together and say, instead of just saying, hey, we have one more tour and we're done, or we're just done, the fact that we did a whole year, we put out a whole nother album, we really worked hard to kind of give that. I was proud of that. And that doesn't change anything for me either with us playing these shows. I don't think that negates the fact that we kind of did that final year that we did. So really those would be the things that I always am really proud of as far as when I look back on Anberlin.
Sweet, mate. Yeah. All right, buddy. I better let you get to the next one. But look, congratulations on a great career. But congratulations on your. Well, I don't know whether when I say I really like your attitude and your outlook. I think you're doing.
Oh man, thank you so much.
All of the right reasons, man. And fans are just going to love you guys when you come down and perform, mate. So thanks for coming down, man. Yeah. Absolutely, man. We're so excited. And which show are you coming to? Brisbane, mate. I'm going to try and get along to the Brisbane show. So it's hard for me to get out these days, to be honest with you, because I've got 2 kids and just all the other commitments and all the rest of it.
I'm pulling up to my my 17-month-old right now, so I'm trying to see her before I jump on with my next interview. So I feel you, man.
Cool, mate. Well, hopefully...
Awesome. Well, cool. Either way, man, thank you so much.
No worries, brother. All the best with it, eh?
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
No worries, you too. Catch ya.
All right, bye.
Bye. You have been listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series that syndicates for the A-List Online. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith, and that interview subject was Nate Young from the US outfit Anberlin. Thank you so much for listening.